surfing first and foremost, because when I was a kid, the thing that inspired me was watching other surfers and watching how good they were and how graceful they were. And in my neighborhood, sidewalk surfing was just becoming like really popular because we had like really primitive boards, just flat wood, roller skate wheels on the bottom, no urethane wheels yet, no good trucks, roller skate trucks. And we would just go out and try to do what the surfers were doing, like walking on the board, doing slides and balancing on the nose and the tail. And so that, when I saw that I had kind of fun doing that, but also as a natural, I kind of had the natural ability to ride a board on land more than in the water at first. And the water was tough. Surfing takes a lot of practice and a lot of courage and a lot of just technique. Skateboarding for me was easy from the get-go. So that's what got me kind of stoked, is I was just a kid that had a skateboard as an extension of my lifestyle, and I used it whenever I could on the streets of Santa Monica in Los Angeles. This is one of my favorites because I like the pool here. I like to come here and skate around the park and get loosened up and then skate the bowl. It's called the Culver Clover. I just call it CC, double C. Like when I sent the messages to the production team for the interview, I said, I'll be at CC at 3 o'clock. And they're like, what is CC? So it's right off here in the Culver City, center of the city, across from the basically where all the city workers come in to fuel up, have lunch, and there's not a lot of supervision, which is good. You can come here and just skate, and you don't have to like wear a helmet or pads unless you want to. I recommend anybody that comes here and hasn't skated to wear a helmet because it's pretty deep and steep, the bowl at least. So yeah, I like this place, but I like backyard stuff. I like traveling around the world, skating stuff I haven't skated before, like going to Korea or going to Japan or Europe, someplace where I haven't ridden, and just riding a new spot. And last but not least, my favorite is to skate the drainage ditches in Albuquerque, New Mexico, because those are really long and smooth, and it's just something that if you're a skateboarder, you have to experience it at least once in your life. Well, it's given me a lot of freedom. I mean, the lifestyle that skateboarding has given me has been like the freedom to be creative, the freedom to do what I feel like doing and not have anybody tell me that there's any like lines I have to stay between. Like literally, in skateboarding, there's really no rules. I mean, if you look at what's going on now when it goes into competition, there are some rules and guidelines, I guess, for the youth. But for me, for a guy like me that's been skating professionally for 50 years, I think I helped kind of establish the fact that there are no rules. That was like something that I always adhered to, was like, you know what? The grassroots approach to skateboarding, the ethos of it is freedom. And you should be able to go out and just do whatever you want to do like an abstract artist. There's nothing really that's compulsory, and there's nothing that's regulated by any like type of authority, I think for the youth, the Olympics are great. I think because it opens a door for them, to be successful and to get visibility. And like, I love watching when Yuto, goes out there and just throws down like the most amazing technical trick and walks away with a gold medal, for Japan. I think that nationalistic identification with how good and how technical and how amazing the athletes are that come out of countries like Japan is really cool. The Americans, we've done so. Sometimes we do good, sometimes not so good, but it's not really so much about the nationalism as it is about, I think, just kids having an opportunity to go out and show the rest of the world what they love to do and how they do it and how good they are at it. Christian's girl from Australia winning a gold, doing back-to-back 540 variations, stuff like that. I mean, you don't normally see that stuff unless it's like, broadcast all over the world, via like something like the Olympics. But I personally think the Olympics need us much more than we need them. They need us to send the message to the youth that the Olympics are like something that they would want to like either view or support or identify with. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But like I said, I think skateboarding will prosper with or without the Olympics. No, I do not use my skateboard every day. I usually cross-train with riding a bicycle, and I love riding a bicycle on the west side of Los Angeles quite a bit, and I also like to do yoga. And after yoga, I usually go out and I go to the beach, and if there's a window of opportunity, I surf. I surf probably 3 to 5 days a week, and I skate when I feel like it, but I skate at least once or twice a week, at least, sometimes more. Just depending on how I'm feeling. If my body's feeling really good because I've been surfing quite a bit, and the muscles and the joints and everything are feeling like they're actively balanced and I have that sense of equanimity, I'll go out and I'll skate. Today I knew that I was going to skate and I was going to come here and meet up for this interview, as well as get a chance to roll around on a new board. So I was like, you know what, just take it easy, go out and surf real quick, even if the waves aren't good. Get a light lunch in you, take a few of my supplements that I take for joint supplies. I use like glucosamine and chondroitin, MSM, different combinations of joint supplies and vitamins. As I age, I need supplements so that I can balance my health. And I think there's a lot of things that I've learned from having minor injuries and stuff like that, that you really have to take care of your body if you want to be a professional skateboarder for as long as I have been. So skating is just something that I never feel like I have to do it. I do it when I feel like doing it, and I enjoy it, and I just take it easy. I have a good attitude when it comes to my skateboarding. I don't push myself too hard, but I push myself hard enough to take it to the limit. Being that close to nature and being around that much power, and also the fact that, you know, when you surf, every wave is different, you know? There's not one wave that's the same as the other one. So it's just an amazing experience, I think, on that level. And I've always loved saltwater and the ocean, and I have a lot of friends that are surfers as well, but I usually am surfing by myself, but I end up, you know, crossing paths with a lot of like-minded people that are surfers, and that's really cool. But, you know, what surfing does for my skateboarding is amazing, because I wouldn't have skateboarding, and especially the kind of, at the level that I'm at. I mean, I'm gonna have a birthday in a week, and by the grace of God, I'll be 67 years old, you know? So to be like an active professional skateboarder at 67 is a blessing. And I think surfing has given me a lot of that longevity as well, because it enables me to continue to skateboard by the cross training that you get. You know, the physical activity of surfing is not only a really healthy thing, but it's a very spiritual thing. And I think that it helps me in body, mind, and soul. It just balances and nurtures everything, you know? Well, skateboarding's come and gone more than once. It wasn't just in the 80s. Skateboarding's come and gotten really big and died out like 2 or 3 times in my career. And I think that the main thing is you just keep it real. You don't let it knock you off the beam, you know? You stay on your board, you go out and you skate no matter what. And with a lot of the skaters that I've sponsored and that I've skated with most of my life, we take it underground. When everybody else ignores us and bails out on us and all of a sudden there's no money to be made or whatever, we just go underground. We take it like totally like a revolutionary approach to it, you know, and we just we keep doing it, and we keep it real, and we keep progressing, and we just keep having fun, and the main thing is, you know, we don't give up the fight. It's, you know, it's being a skateboarder is a bit of like a bit of a war against society sometimes. That's why I was saying earlier, you know, about the Olympics like accepting us and everything now. You know, we don't really need the Olympics, like I said. We don't need their acceptance. You know, we'll take it and we'll make the best of it. But the bottom line is that skateboarding is, we have a rebellious character as skateboarders, you know? We're gonna do what we're gonna do. We're constantly having run-ins with authority and stuff, and we don't adhere to authority too much. So when authority tells us that skateboarding isn't cool, or that it's not commercial, or it's not happening anymore, you know what we tell them? We give them the middle finger. We tell them, fuck you. And we continue to skate, and we continue to keep it real, and we continue to do what we love, and do it with passion, and do it with like just an attitude of like, you know, just strength of power, you know? For me, the best board of all time was when we started making big boards, big fat boards. I love wide boards. I have big feet, you know? So anything from 9 to 12 inches wide, you know? And I like at least, I'd say 31 and a half, 32 is about as short as I'll go lately. And I'll go like up to almost like around 36. Like today I'm riding a 36, but I don't ride a 36 very often. But this one's really flat and has a little kick nose. And so I'm able to maneuver it for how long it is pretty well and pretty easily, and get it in the air and still like feel like it's under my feet, and I'm stable on it. And it's pretty light, you know, it has big wheel wells so the wheels don't hit. I just had George Powell send me a really cool set of wheels that match the board. And yeah, it's just fun. I ride independent trucks, as you can see. Thanks to my guys up north in Santa Cruz, I think they make the best trucks. So Vans backs me up with shoes. I always have really good foot gear, and I make my own boards. This is a prototype of a board that we call the short stuff. It's just funny because it's the longest board in our line, but we call it the short stuff, the short one. It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek title for the board. So my boards are the favorites of like the moment, whatever I feel in the moment. And what I feel in the moment is that I really like handmade boards, good Canadian maple, usually made in the United States. I like a US made product. I don't make any of my skateboards in Canada. I make them with Canadian wood. Sorry, I take that back. I don't make any of them in China. and I don't make any of them in Mexico right now. So in the future, who knows? When it comes to production, sometimes you have to make sacrifices, and some of the boards I do that are mass produced in production, I've had offers to do them in different countries, and we'll see what happens. But the ones that I personally write are made here in the United States, and they're made by hand. They're not made by computers, and you know, we regulate the quality control on all of our boards. ALVA skateboards are, I mean, known for being made in the United States and for quality and performance. My sponsor that's never ever let me down, there's two really, is Rich Novak, basically, who started and runs Santa Cruz and independent trucks and helped start Thrasher magazine and stuff. He's never let me down. From the beginning with Road Rider Wheels was my first sponsor with him. Jay Sherman was his partner, God rest his soul, and they've never let me down. Bob DeNike, the guy up there on the hill that was the president for quite a while, another guy that's never let me down. But first and foremost, Steve and Paul Van Doren from Vans, from my shoe sponsor. They have always believed in me before and after the transformation that I've gone through in my life. The fact that I think they know my worth and they treat me with respect. They treat me with, basically they give me the opportunity to continue to do what I do best. And they've always believed in me. And you know, I've got almost 18 years sober, clean and sober. And when I first started riding for Vans, there was a long time where I was just a pretty wild child, you know, like was not clean and sober, drinking quite a bit, self-medicating with drugs and alcohol, and they still had my back even at that point. But the fact that I've gone through this transformation and come out the other end, and I think I've become a better person because of it. I think Vans they really believe in me now, you know, and they really get behind like projects that my logo's involved with, my likeness, and just the fact that I've been a professional skateboarder as long as I have is valuable to them. And I think that it's not only representing the company, but representing skateboarding in general through being a member of the team. You know, Vans has a super good team. We have young guys, older guys, Steve Caballero, Christian Asoy, Anthony Van Engelen, you know, we have Rowan on the team, we've got Curran Caples. I mean, the list goes on. Lizzie Armanto. I could go like a list of like probably 50 skaters, you know, that are just amazingly talented. From the get-go, you know, they backed guys like Tony Trujillo. Some of the guys that, you know, are on our team are just super stylish, very powerful, and very original, you know, in their approach to skateboarding. And I'm proud to be a part of that team, you know, and what they do. And the other thing is just making my own skateboards and doing what I do. You know, my partner Mike is a hands-on guy, really knows how to make a quality board, and listens and meets me halfway when it comes to collaborating. And I just think that, you know, with having a board sponsor, good truck sponsor, good shoe sponsor, what else do you need? You know, that's about all I really need to continue to be an active part of professional skateboarding. I think the best advice I was ever given was when in 2006 I decided to quit smoking weed and drink, and I met a guy named Robert V, who became my mentor or my sponsor, and he guided me through recovery, and in a matter of 18 months showed me how to live life on life's terms by not using drugs and alcohol to self-medicate. Definitely the best advice. My surfing got better, my music ability got better. I played bass guitar. I played in a few different bands that are pretty fun and good music, original. And obviously my skateboarding just followed in suit. It just got better because I had a spiritual awakening as well as a moment of clarity, and just my perception started shifting quite a bit. And as my perception shifted, a lot of things became apparent to me. Things that I basically just had to get rid of and kind of clean up the wreckage of my past, literally. But also things that I was not putting enough attention and enough really concerted effort into, you know, and that practice makes permanent, and that if I kept practicing the things that I really loved, that things would just get better. And as they have. I mean, even today, coming here and skating today on a board that I've never skated before, you know, I just go by that principle, you know, practice makes permanent. I'll never be perfect at anything that I do, but I can make progress, and by making progress, it's just a matter of going out there and doing the work. And when I do the work, I get the result. And if I don't do the work and I try to do the half measures thing, it avails me nothing. And I don't want to go out there and just come back with nothing. I want to come back with a sign of something that shows me that I've been making progress and I'm working towards a goal. And the goal is that I have hope, I have faith, I have strength, I have a lot of experience, and I can pretty much achieve anything if I put my mind to it. Well, there's no ceiling on it, that's for sure. The future of skateboarding is unlimited. The sky is the limit, and skateboarders have shown that. You know, like with the 14-year-old female, you know, coming in and winning the Olympics. The youth is really just like pushing it to the next limit. You know, guys like professional skateboarders that are 40, 50, even 60 years old now, still going out and participating and being a part of skateboarding, whether it's competitive or not, going out and actually riding and having a good time. And just, I think the main thing with skateboarding though really is just have fun. You know, it's not really all about who's the best. It's more about who's having the most fun, if you want to know the truth. A lot of times I tell kids, you know, that are having like a bad day or kind of, you know, just have a frown on their face or whatever, I always tell them, I say, look, you know, the best skater out there is the one with the biggest smile on his face, you know. So go out there and just have a good time. And I think that skateboarding is technically, stylistically, as far as like commercialism and like how much more popular can it get stuff. I mean, I think skateboarding is definitely one of the most popular lifestyles and types of participation as far as the youth is concerned in the world. And they look to it, I mean, I'm from LA, so it comes from here, you know, first and foremost. Like, we have a lot to do with the revolution of skateboarding. We have a lot to do with the progression of skateboarding, with the business, with how it's attached to music, fashion. I would just say a lot of the things that kids are enthusiastic about, it comes from the roots and where skateboarding started here in LA and stuff. And so I try to be attached to that in a positive way and be an ambassador. And like for me, I mean, hopefully I'll still be skating for another 10 or 20 years. Who knows? You know, it's just one day at a time. But if you stay in the moment and you just have a good day today, I think tomorrow also is a vision of hope, and that you'll have a good day in the next day and the next day after that. But all we really got is today. So for me, for today, the future is, it looks bright. It looks good. The sun is out. I'm still skating. You know, you want to stay healthy and basically do everything that you can to avoid injury. And I think that skateboarding in general is really exciting. It's healthy. It's fun. It's possible to make a living doing it. And I think that just more power to, you know, to that whole universe of skateboarders that are just one big happy family, you know. And in my world, when I travel all over, it doesn't matter what country I'm in, the brothers and sisters that are out there skating with me, we're all one big happy family. And that's how I see it through not only my sponsors, but through my attitude towards being a professional skateboarder.